Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Robbie Krager, the Flip Flop Flipper. We're in Denison, Texas with Ian Flanagan, and we're looking at a house he built. We're gonna walk it, we're gonna talk it. Let's go for a ride.
Cool. So this, there's a lot of limestone, which we didn't realize there was this much until it was dug out, but you can't see it, but through those trees is a 52-acre lake. So right at the end of the street, there's nature trails that you walk out on, and you go behind the house, there's a cave.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. It's about a 6-minute walk. Just this one. But then I'll build a replica of this house 2 lots over. But this is where you got to get out to, is back here is the lot itself.
I love this chandelier though. That's great.
Yeah, big boy.
That is awesome. And the floors, very cool.
Yep.
Is that unique to yours, or are other people doing that?
Just what I like. You know, I like hard floors. You know, you know, years ago of doing all the flips, I never lived on vinyl floors, but we did it in our house, and after a couple years I hated it because the corners buckled and chipped, and I put a tile down. I love it, but this is a purpose-built Airbnb, so concrete floors, yeah.
Is Airbnb popular here in town?
Yeah, this is a corridor. You know, you got Texas, Oklahoma, there's a huge lake. The largest lake in Texas is just 10 minutes away. Okay. So bass fishing tournaments, there's resorts, and there's multi-million-dollar homes on the water, Airbnb and stuff like that, yeah.
How much of this yard is yours?
Half acre all the way to the back.
Wow.
So
that's a heck of a yard.
Yeah,
that's
it is. So that's a stake there. That's a stake over there.
Yep.
So this is 1.5 acres. So my buddy Charles bought this from Karen, the lady that owns the lot, not this property, but the one over. That's 2 acres, and then there's a flagpole run that goes down the back for access, so we can walk across the back and onto the park. There's a city park behind this. It's 220 acres. Okay. So we get the benefit of the park. Yep. The city has put a lot of money into the park, so there's pickleball and all the fun stuff.
Pickleball's popular here too?
Yeah, it's
Who
huge.
knew?
Yeah, they call it paddle in the UK, but
paddle's a little different game.
Yeah, it's a little
faster.
different. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's just a gym out here, and you know, when you're driving in, there's a level 1 trauma hospital right there. So there's a medical corridor. You have TI.
Yeah, they're building something in the next town over.
There's so many industries that cross here. You know, and being right here on the border. So anyway, yeah, this is a great. I told my buddy, I was like, man, you guys are just sitting on a gold mine, because there's very few properties that actually touch the park that you can acquire these days. Yep. And this just happens to be one of them. So I bought that one.
What does a house like this sell for now?
Depending on where it is in town, I mean, $500,000 to $550,000. The bank we got a value about $525,000, but you know, it's speculative. This is a little unique than your average property around here, so this will sell at a premium.
And then, but you're not selling it. You're planning to keep it as an Airbnb.
This is a keeper. I've been making moves over the last 3-4 years to get to this point where I can hold properties like this, because I've just been selling them, and over the years, my biggest regret is,
I should have kept it.
Should have held that one. I should have held that. Man, I should have held that house over in this part of town. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, so, we have the same exact story.
Yeah. It's just like. So yeah, that'll be a keeper too. So we took this house and we just flipped it upside down, made it about 400 square feet larger.
Oh, both of these are yours?
No, this is my buddy Charles. His mother owns this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You use the same builder, so you guys got some economies
Different builder that built that house, but he's a builder too. Yeah. But yeah, Evolution Homes, Jacob Kraft and his brother Josh are incredible. They've been building out here for over a decade, so I've tapped into all their resources.
Nice.
Kind of got a back door.
How many houses do you build a year typically?
This is actually my first that I built on my own. I've been involved in countless numbers of new builds, from the agent side, from partnering with other investors, but this is my house, my name, my company.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, I've got bank financing on this, 7.75. Where can you find that, you know? Yeah.
And it's 30-year fixed type stuff?
Well, it's a 3-year line of credit.
Okay.
So I can draw on the line for 3 years to the build, and then it'll has an automatic permanent feature where it'll flip to a 20-year perm. Okay. Permanent 20-year financing, and it's a floating average, so whatever prime is at that time, it'll lock it in at like 2 points over that.
Nice.
So, so it's good to have in here, but obviously my strategy is to refinance, and or possibly sell that house, take the equity, put it down on this to really get this thing to cash flow.
Got it.
because I'm pouring a driveway all the way to the back of the house, so we'll be able to accommodate RVs, boats, all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, I see your neighbor's got a boat and an RV.
Yeah, there's a boat over here. So I figure we spend more time outside
No pool,
talking
you
about
won't
it
put a
because it's
pool
easy.
in?
I probably wouldn't do that right out of the gate. I think over time I'll let this property kind of evolve. I've had all kinds of wild ideas to do out here because, you know, the thing about Airbnbs now is about the experience that you create.
That's right.
So it's just kind of one thing at a time. Let's bang out an incredible home, make it comfortable, make, you know, outside you can enjoy the park. And then as the seasons go by, then I thought about turf and everything from, you know, I don't want to spend 10 grand on
Yeah.
turf, but turf would be incredible.
That would be fun.
Right? Pergola, turf, kid area.
And you could put a pickleball court in your backyard
I could
too.
put a pickleball court. I could put all kinds of stuff. Thought
Yeah.
about doing some OU Texas turf right there
Nice.
because, you know, that's a huge rivalry.
That would be, yeah.
So it's kind of the sky's the limit, really.
How far is OU from here? Are you close enough that people would stay here for a game or anything, or is that?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but we're right here on that Red River Showdown, the Red River corridor. If you look at a map,
yeah.
I mean, we're right there.
We're
So
what?
It's hard
20
to say.
minutes from Oklahoma right now?
Less.
Less. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. And you're in.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
in,
You can be
Oklahoma.
in Oklahoma in just a few minutes.
Do
Yeah.
you ever invest in Oklahoma
I
as
don't.
well? No? Yeah, you're the second person today who's told us that. There must be something wrong with Oklahoma.
No. I think it's more of just geography
No real estate investors in Oklahoma.
of where you live more than anything. You know.
You live here in Denison?
Yeah, I live in Texas. No, I live in Plano, which is 20 miles north of downtown where you were at. So
Oh,
you
okay,
drove
you're-
through Plano.
Got it. Yep.
So I'm in a suburb north.
Yep.
But investing out here, like I have some buddies doing, I mean, there's all kinds of people remodeling and doing all different things at different levels. But the barrier of entry to buy the dirt and be able to
Yep.
build at a price, you know, obviously further outside the city, you can get those numbers.
If you
to work
compared
better.
this kind of half-acre lot with that house and you put it in Dallas-Fort Worth,
yeah.
what do you go up 200,000 or something?
Easy. Depending on the neighborhood,
Yeah.
it could go up $500,000.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. If you get closer to White Rock or Lakewood, where, you know,
Do
the
you
half
get any
acre-
do you get any cheaper labor when you're out here than in Dallas-Fort Worth, or
Not
basically
necessarily.
costs the same? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Grayson County, the tax rate's high, really high, one of the highest in the whole state. So
Yeah.
I'm actually protesting my taxes on these two lots right now.
Okay.
I'm in back and forth with them. I uploaded my HUDs, and you know they're trying to hit me for 25,000 more than what I paid for them. So
Ouch. Yeah.
that's the game.
The tax man's no fun.
Yeah. So the back we'll pour a driveway all the way to the back.
And have a slab out here like he's got.
No, we're not going to take it back that far. Just to the edge of the house. You can see the forms here. And then these will be gravel beds.
Yep.
So the house will retain moisture. And then I'll put a 8x10 shed here. Utility shed. We'll power it.
Is this a city sewer, or do you have a septic somewhere?
It's on city sewer.
City sewer.
Yeah. Jacob's got a couple houses on the other side of Denison that are on septic. They're on a creek.
Yep.
$500,000
Yep.
resales.
And is this a typical wood frame with the block veneer or the brick
Yeah.
veneer? That's
Yep.
how they build in Texas?
Yep.
You don't have termites?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Oh yeah. So there's termite treatments in the slab.
Uh-huh.
All
Yeah.
that, and then there's termite treatments in the lumber as well.
Yep.
But yeah, these, you know, that's called board and batten. This city code here, they require on the front, on the elevation 75%. So it's like, you know, the brick up to here, and then siding. I don't like the way that looks personally, so I just bricked it all the way up.
Yep.
It's a code that changed. That house was built in 21.
Yeah. And
So-
they did like a T111 siding or something?
Yeah, it's that board and batten. I love that look. It's that real popular farmhouse look right now.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Yeah, this was a stock plan, just because I didn't want to spend, you know, 15 grand on a custom from scratch.
Yeah.
So I paid for a stock plan, and then I customized the heck out of it. So
And then what's a cost to build in Denison, Texas? What's
about
your square foot?
185 a foot.
185 a foot.
Yeah,
for
and that
house.
includes, well, Denison's different because there's a massive impact fee, which is about $18,000 to
Does
pay.
that include land costs, or that's
No, no.
that's cost
That's
to
just
build, plus
before.
land?
That's just to get the opportunity
plus,
to.
plus.
That's to get the opportunity to get the permit. The permit's about $1,800, but it's all the fees that they've been putting on builders over. So there's a $20,000 vig on every lot, just in Denison, Texas.
Wow.
It's different.
And a lot like this costs what?
This one, I paid 60 for this one, but I nabbed it because he had 2 cash offers for 75. But like I said, he's a personal friend of mine.
Yeah.
But he got me on that one. I paid 80 for that one, so it balanced out 75.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
bank's trying to, or
So
bank,
that's a smaller lot though.
same
too, right?
same size.
Oh, it is.
It just feels different because the way that it's cut or what's
Yeah.
beside it.
Yep.
Because if you put a fence where that tree is, and it kind of chops it off.
Yeah.
The middle lot's a little bit bigger, but these are both half-acre lots. That one's about a 0.6.
Got it. That is a good-looking kitchen, you guys. Wow.
This thing came out amazing.
Yeah. This is like, it's going to sell your Airbnb.
That's the idea,
That
dude.
is-
The
that is
black
sharp.
plugs.
How many
lights
beds
on.
and baths?
4.
4 bed, 4
So
bed.
this is the-
4 bed, 2 bath? 4 bed,
It's a 4-3.
4-3.
So we have 2 en suites.
Uh-huh.
So got the master / primary. This is the master bedroom here. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Ah, I didn't even know that. I haven't been here since they connected that. Let's see here. Here we go. All right.
You picked out the colors here too?
Everything.
Man, you do a good job. You got a good eye.
Let me get out of here so you can film it. But
See if I can sweep through.
well, I mean, I've flipped hundreds of houses.
Have you?
Yeah, and I've helped people buy and sell hundreds of houses,
Yep.
and I've looked at photos, thousands and thousands of images over the years. And when we were in our heyday of flipping, I would take time and I would build folders and I would go on the MLS and do searches like whatever houses had sold in the last 2 years that were like $5 million and higher.
Yeah.
And I would have hundreds of images and I would just go through each photos and look at the way that they would do their combinations and just get inspired by that. And then
put them in a
replicate it.
$200,000 renovation or
Yeah.
$200,000.
yeah, you know, like doing different combos like this, you typically see this in the higher end stuff. This isn't, he builds a lot of spec houses, a lot of entry level houses. This is obviously a little bit more of a custom, but we took a spec and kind of customized it. But I just get inspired by what I like and what I see, and I'll get, you know, we'll collaborate with different people, and like my wife, and you know, we picked all this, like, hey, what do you think about these? They're like,
Yeah.
those look great. All right, great, let's go with these
Yeah.
3. So
Yeah, I like your choice in ceiling fans and light fixtures.
I
I think you hit it out of the park here.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this mirror, you know, everyone's doing those tiny little mirrors, and the mirror is always a really hard one to get.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? I love 10-foot ceilings. I love these big mirrors. It opens up the whole room.
Yep.
But yeah, this shower came out great. This was on the fly. We made a switch on the plan. That was supposed to be a tub. I like, nixed it, so we had to trench the concrete. So that's what that is back there. That was oops. Let's go ahead and do a shower instead of a.
So that was things happen, right?
That was an after the fact, and so.
When is this going to be finished?
I mean, this probably within the month. But my wife and I, we've already been collecting furniture. We're already on the hunt. It'll take us about a month to get it ready.
Airbnb hospitality experience?
You know what? I don't. I have a cash flow experience.
I love it.
I focus on cash flow. So a decade and a half ago, I focused on buying houses, selling them on notes, owner financing, built a massive business that made an exit, built info products, sold those, real estate agents, built teams of agents, cash flow. It's the same thing with houses. Okay, let me throw that one on Airbnb. I've had rentals, duplexes, all different types of stuff, but I am new to Airbnb, but I'm not new to real estate.
Yeah.
So I knocked it out of the park on my first one over in this little town about 20 minutes east of here.
Okay.
Just booked. I put it on Airbnb, it's just been booked. Because
And
it's the nicest house in the whole area.
Is
And it's
this
a tiny
thing nightly rate, you think $350 a
Easy.
night, something like that?
Easy, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be going more for the midterms on this one with corporate clients and stuff like that. I have one of my friends, this was an after, oops. The cans, we initially weren't going to put a 72-inch ceiling fan in this room. So
Yeah.
those can lights create a strobe. See that?
Yeah, I do. I noticed that. Pretty cool.
And after oops. So it's like these little tiny things like that. Like this plug right here was right here.
Yeah.
because that's just something we didn't
This
catch
is
on
just
the,
way more functional.
on the original plan.
Yeah.
That's what the risk you take. The door wasn't wide enough. A lot of these little things you don't
Yeah.
run into until you're in the middle
Yeah.
of it. So I'm standing here with Jacob, the electrician. He was like, now would be the time to make it a switch. I was like, put it here.
Yeah.
I want it there. If we can do it now. He goes,
Way
yeah.
more functional.
Yeah, walk in.
The
get
next
it.
one you build, you've got it already done.
Yeah.
I've wanted to use this tile that you've used.
Oh, yeah?
So for 3 years, I've been trying to convince my wife to let me do it.
Yeah, so I was
She'll live with
strategic. I knew that I wanted to do the sides in like a softer Carrera style. And the day we went up to Floor and Decor to pick the tile, this was on sale. They were doing a blowout, and there was only, I mean, we had plenty of square footage, but there was only like 300 square feet left, and they were just like, get it out of here. And we were like, oh, we only need like 22 square feet. So
Yeah.
we paid 47 cents a foot for this tile.
Wow.
And these are I think they're 24 by 36. Yeah, big ones.
Yeah.
And then these were just a couple bucks. But we took time and made sure the grout matched, and
Yeah.
we did the same grout on all the showers. So we wanted to try to keep the showers as congruent as possible, and then obviously did the niches and cut the marble. This is actually quartz, but
Looks real good.
yeah, and then was intentional about the color of the quartz with these kind of warmer tones in it with the cabinets, the gold here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. This is all intentional as well to kind of get everything to kind of flow together. But yeah, these came out great.
It really did.
Yeah, they really did come out good. This is the first time I've seen the house with the lights on. Trimmed walls is a huge trend right now. A lot of them. Yeah,
That's the first time I'm seeing that.
Yeah, a lot of them are painted.
I'm gonna steal it.
Accent. Just look at Pinterest. Like, if like we're gonna decorate this house. If you go to Pinterest and type in Western Gothic,
Yeah.
oh, it's so cool.
Really?
Because it's a blend of this modern and this old cross. So this house will be decorated like that. It'll be a cross between
So you
kinda
use some
modern
dark
stuff.
colors, modern.
Yeah,
modern looking
black
stuff.
curtains or like a dark emerald green and gold,
Yep,
and then
yep.
different stuff like that. But
What is it? What's the process for these kind of polished cement floors?
you have to ask Jacob. I know they use a different wax. I decided not to acid stain it because the acid stain is unpredictable whenever it starts to react with the concrete.
Uh-huh.
You can always go over it with an epoxy if you want a certain color, but I didn't want an epoxy. I just wanted to polish them.
And when you get a crack like
So
this,
it's just
it's
a
just
wax.
part of the charm. That's,
Yeah, it just is what it is. Surface
that's
cracks.
perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it gives it character.
Concrete does two things really well,
Yeah.
right?
Cracks.
It gets really hard and it cracks.
Yeah, that's right. Can you tell us your origin story a little bit?
Man, yeah. So, gosh, like I said when we talked, I'm 50, but I sound like a 15-year-old girl on the phone.
And you have a young child who's
I got a grown. I have a 29-year-old and I have a 6-year-old.
6-year-old.
So we started over. So I guess my journey in real estate, right about 20 years ago, started reading books. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Second person today that
Yeah.
Blew my
Purple Bible.
mind, and it is. I mean, but it's a roadmap. You know,
Yeah.
it's the first time you really have something that's like, hey, this is what it is, and this is how you can go from here to here.
Yeah.
So I went from E, I went to S. I was in S when I read the book, and I was like, how do I get to B and I, right? So over the last decade, I've worked on building the B and the I. So I'm living on the B and I side now,
Yeah.
which is life-changing, but it took forever. I don't know if you guys are Gary Vee fans, but his whole thing is just get to effing work.
Yeah.
Head down, in the trenches, go. And
Yeah.
that's where I've been, and here I am looking up all these years later, like, wow, I can go down the list and check the boxes. So,
Right.
But it started there, wholesaling, renovating, and then I met some guys that had, family money, and we partnered, but that was our first private capital. We bought like 60 homes and held them, rented them, flipped
Nice.
them, did all kinds of stuff, got an owner financing, and then a decade ago, I got my real estate license, and I exited out of 2 companies, which was the investment company. We built a info business. I used to travel on the country, selling coaching, doing bus tours, all that
Really?
fun stuff. Yeah, with
Did
Zach
you?
Childress.
With
Yeah,
Zach Childress.
Yeah, the internet's, the information is just kind of like this, right? There's so much
Yep.
information. Like everything that we're doing is you can find it online now.
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the people that are in the trenches, like myself, are the ones that are hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't go put myself out like I used to. That's why I got out of selling coaching, because I got tired of selling coaching to people that just weren't motivated to
That
do
aren't
shit.
going to do it. Yeah.
So anyway, but we built a coaching business, and I basically just modeled what I was doing in seller financing. This is how we buy them. This is how we sell them. This is how we build a portfolio. This is how we exit. Just teaching people to do that and flipping. And
So you were doing seller financing a decade ago.
Yeah.
You were doing it before it was cool.
yeah, well, before Pace made it really cool with Sub 2 and all that.
Pace has made it cool. We
Yeah.
were talking about that last
Yeah,
night.
dude,
You know,
Pace made it
Pace
fucking
sold the
rad.
peace sign, right? And he's rebranded the peace sign, which is freaking amazing
No,
and
he's
brilliant.
I love his story too. I don't know
He's-
him. I don't know
he's
him
great.
personally, but I love his story.
Yeah, I've met him a couple times.
Yeah,
He's a good guy. He's incredible on stage.
Yeah,
too.
no, he's great. That's how my buddy Zach is. He was my big coach and taught me, really how to strategically sell while you're speaking. And that really translated into my recruiting real estate agents. So learning how to sell and, speak on stage, it kind of translated into how we were recruiting. So I traveled the world, I wouldn't say the world, United States. I went to Canada, and I have team members now all around the world through that company. But so the last 9 years, 10 years, I've focused on the retail side, but I'm still in the investor seat. So I have a couple friends that I've been helping them flip their money, their retirement capital. We've flipped I don't know how many houses, but he's building 6,000 square foot houses now. He's like my stepdad.
Wow.
So I watched this man funnel millions of dollars in and out of houses, and I did all the contracts for him. So he's my mentor, friend, and all that. So I've learned him. And a lot of strategic people over the years that I've met, that I've kept a close relationship with, all have a part in where I am today.
Right.
So kind of that's where it all started. Started at the RIA clubs and all that, and did it in the trenches, and then built a business selling, coaching, and all that. We did that for years, traveled all around the country, met a lot of cool people,
So
built the brokerage, and now I'm building houses.
You've said a couple times now about the coaching, and we're building a community of people that we've got a couple thousand in a free community.
Yeah,
That they can come and network, learn a little bit, meet other like-minded people.
sure.
The vast majority of that group don't take action, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be true of anybody. So we've got a paid group,
Sure.
$100 a month.
That's
I
great
would
continuity
say-
to grow that.
I would say the opposite's true about that. Like most of the people that are in this paid group, and it's only $97 a month, but the difference between the free to the paid, it's night and day. The ones who are willing to invest in themselves, all of a sudden, are going to start to be the ones that do stuff. What would you say to those people that are on the fence?
Yeah.
Because you've been doing it a lot longer than I have. I did it the opposite way. I just had my head down and was a real estate investor. And now we're building a community, and we really want the people to jump in and take action. I truly, truly believe from my heart that anybody can do this. You can build this house. If you're watching this video, you guys could build this house.
I believe so,
It's,
yeah.
I believe that with my heart, right? What would you say to those people that are just kind of on the edge? How do you push them over the edge to start doing, to go from wanna-doer to doer?
You can't push anybody. It's like you gotta want it. You just gotta want it. That's it. You're hungry.
So there's no secret sauce. It's just there's always going to be 2% that do stuff and 98% that think about it.
I mean, I think about my journey. I was a horrible student when I was a kid. I was deficient in math, and I tried to go to college. I had to start at a high school level. I had to work my way up, 2 years of math. It was just, I had a desire.
Yeah.
And then when I got into the hairdressing business, right after reading the book, I'm just trading dollars for hours, and I have all these wealthy people coming in and out. And I just started recognizing that the people in real estate just live differently than everyone else. Doctors, lawyers, high income earners. But the folks in real estate, the game was different for them. And I was like, I want to get in that game.
Yeah,
And that's where it started.
that's right.
So here I am, 20 years later, I'm that guy going to get my hair cut now, telling the hairdresser about what I do and how we travel and all that. And he's like, well, how do I do that?
Yeah.
Read Rich Dad Poor Dad, start there. So
That's so cool.
I believe anybody can build it. There has to be a hunger inside. And if you don't have it, sorry, good luck. It just is what it is. All the information's out there. There's enough people that are willing to help. You can find it.
I mean, you can find everything on YouTube, right? And
Yeah, but it's the
so much
people-
easier now than it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but it's the people like Jacob. Like me finding Jacob was godsend for me, right?
Yeah.
The value, what he's built in his business, what I built in mine, like the trajectory of, I wouldn't have been ready for someone like him 5 years ago. We would have
Right.
just met and he would have been on his way.
Yeah.
Versus today where our businesses kind of cross paths
Yeah.
and we're rolling. So we enjoy working with each other because when you meet people that are operating at a high level, it's great.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
But operate with integrity too, because there's a lot of yahoos and a lot of a-holes in this business
that's kind of the key to being a real estate investor is you do what you say, get a track record of success, just keep growing, keep moving forward, learn from the mistakes. I mean, it's not a difficult plan. It just takes action.
It does. And I remember in the beginning, there's just so much information, and it was scary, but you just got to keep pouring new information in. So podcasts,
Yeah.
webinars, going to live events, just constantly listening to people talk about real estate that are in real estate.
Yeah.
You'll just hear these little things. It'll start filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, there's just so many gaps. You don't know what you don't know. Even myself, building new is different than remodeling.
Yeah.
There's a huge learning curve that I didn't have, and he's like, "Help me, Jacob." So he helped accelerate my build and also my learning curve and my understanding of how this business works. But
Yep.
you gotta keep going, man. You can't teach that shit.
Man, thank you so much for
yeah.
showing us this beautiful place and
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to us and showing us your town. This has been worth the trip.
Yeah.
This is the conversations that we have with entrepreneurs like you. That's what's kind of driving what we're doing with our community, with our YouTube channel.
Cool.
We're just out here trying to show the world that there's a different path. You don't have to go in the line with the 98% of the world. Swim upstream and you can have a good life.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Yeah, man.
Good deal.
Yeah, get in
Hey,
here.
this is Jacob Kraft,
Yeah, there you go.
Evolution Homes. He's my builder. He built this house. I just picked the colors and wrote the checks.
Absolutely, but Ian did a great job doing that. We're super excited about this project. You can find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and our company name is Evolution Homes LLC. You can also find us at evolutionhomes.com. Feel free to like our pages, contact us anytime if you're looking to build a home. If you're an investor, homeowner, it does not matter to us. We're happy to work with you.
Tell them a little bit about your and your wife's Airbnb business y'all have out here. How many properties y'all still have?
So I mean, out here total we had 15, and we actually just sold one yesterday, and we're selling only because we want to do more stuff like this. Just bigger, not necessarily bigger, but higher quality, better location.
Bigger margins?
Yeah, but better margins, right? Be able to give a better experience. So we were down to like 8 or 9. I hope to sell 4 by the end of the month. I'm gonna give them away if I have to.
Well, that's what he did with me. He called me and said, "Hey, you need to buy this lot from me today, or I'm gonna sell it to Jacob."
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah. So.
all right. I called Jacob and said, "Hey, I gotta buy this lot."
And I'd rather build it than buy it.
Yeah. I mean,
worked out
you're a
perfect.
boss at it. It's like there's
He
nobody
wanted
else.
to sell it. I wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
He wanted to build it. It all worked out.
Yeah. So my whole Airbnb thing is it's a country song. No matter when you're driving in the middle of nowhere, that's somebody somewhere, right? So my preferred place is wherever, right? This is a great location. You can't beat this location, and yeah, that would be great. But I just want a piece of land that is in the middle of nowhere. Is really what I like. Hey guys, I love the Airbnbs. That's my passion. I want to see you in an Airbnb. I want to see you in an Airbnb because instead of an investment that you just hand over to someone, you could have an investment like this house here that you can actually visit and make some money on. So I'm passionate on it. I know about it. I know how to hook you up with great people and just keep you motivated. So give me a ring, give me a call. That'd be awesome.
All right.
Contact me at 214-949-8757. That's my business line. You won't miss me like that. Again, I love the Airbnbs. Instead of our regular rental properties, you have a property that you can really love on, a property that you can come and visit, a property that you can make some income on. I'm passionate about it. I believe in it. I know great people. That's it.